The other thing that you notice with Kenny Atkinson, he's played 9, 10, sometimes 11 guys pretty consistently. Now, the
Yep.
rotations shrink during the playoffs, but the fact that you have given so many guys so many minutes, I would think it gives you more options come playoff time when you have matchups.
That is the biggest thing about it, Dave, is that there are more playable options for Kenny Atkinson to go to. And I don't want to go back in the way back machine or anything along those lines, but it's a very different team and it's a very different situation than what JB Bickerstaff had to deal with. Part of the reason why JB Bickerstaff played such a shortened rotation is because he didn't believe that he had guys that had earned it. Um, he didn't have the same level of trust and the same level of belief in the certain guys because they weren't playing to that level. If you go back to 2 years ago in the series against the Knicks, and I know it was 2 years ago and this team has evolved and everything about this organization has evolved, but just to put it in perspective, the guys that he was going to off the bench, Jetty Osman is overseas. Lamar Stevens missed like half of the year because he couldn't find a team to play for in the NBA before he finally latched on with the Memphis Grizzlies. Ricky Rubio is retired. Um, Danny Green is podcasting and retired. So, like, when you don't feel like you have the kinds of options, it makes it harder to put that trust in that bench and a deeper rotation. Kenny Atkinson has all these different guys that have all stepped up at various moments throughout the course of the regular season that have earned the playing time, that have shown Kenny, hey, I deserve a spot in this rotation. When you call my name, I can be somebody that you can rely on. So because the guys have stepped up throughout the course of the regular season, Kenny knows when the playoffs roll around, I can go to Javonte Green and feel pretty good about what he's going to give me. I can go to Sam Merrill and feel pretty good about what he's going to give me. Like if my point guards are in foul trouble or somebody's dealing with an injury, I can go to Craig Porter Jr. Maybe it's a lot because he's a second year player and it's the playoffs, but he has shown enough throughout the course of this regular season that I can go to him as well. And that's the big thing that Kenny has. It's not a situation where, he's sitting there saying to himself, "Oh my God, like what kind of playable minutes am I going to get off the bench? Like if Donovan Mitchell is in foul trouble, what am I going to do? If Max Strus isn't making shots and bringing it on the offensive end of the floor and he's getting attacked on the defensive end of the floor, who do I go to? Like who can I trust?" Now there are different answers to those questions. So if the Cavs need a defensive minded lineup, they have guys that they can do that with. If they need an offensive minded lineup, they have enough guys that they can do that with. If they want to play big, they can do that. They could put Dean Wade at the 3 and play the two bigs at the 4 and the 5. If they want to play small, they can do that as well. They can play Dean at the 5. They can play DeAndre at the 4. They can play Isaac Okoro at the 3. And every single time that Kenny goes to one of these lineups, it's not like this either or proposition. It's I feel I'm getting enough at both ends of the floor from these guys. I feel like I'm not losing that much with these guys coming off the bench, and I'm still getting a level of production. I'm getting a level of stability. I'm getting a level of consistency. And it's going to be tough when he gets into the playoffs and he's got to shorten the rotation and tell some of these guys, hey, your minutes are going to get cut, your touches are going to get cut, or you're not going to play in a series. Like that's tough. But when you have these guys that have bought into the bigger picture, it becomes a lot easier for somebody like Kenny.
But and the other thing is those matchups are how you win series that are close too.
Absolutely. You know this, Dave. When you go through a playoff series,
Yep.
Orlando's not Indiana, right? Boston is not built like the Chicago Bulls. Every series is going to call for something different or someone different, and that person just has to be ready to step up in that given matchup, in that given series. And I think these guys have an understanding of that. And that's really, really important.